We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Brandon Jones, Miami Dolphins safety. I think this is the first video I made on him all year long. Had his best game of the season. He started in 3 total. And I think as, those games have gone, he's improved in each one. The Bills game, the first one, he was pretty bad, had a really bad game. Second game versus the Patriots, definitely improved, played solid, didn't make any, major mistakes, just a solid overall game, did his job. This Washington game, definitely stood out, made multiple impact plays. It was nice to see him getting involved. Because I do think, coming off the injury was gonna, hinder him in the beginning. But I think he is a starting level safety in the right scheme throughout this league, probably a low end starter. So I think if he hits free agency, he could find somewhere to start in this league. But it wasn't the best fit in Fangio's system. But it's nice to see him playing better in coverage. I think what I really want to see was just better route recognition, better feel instincts, and we're going to see that throughout this video, that he just looked more comfortable, which is nice to see, especially on the back end. We'll get to some of those plays. Here we get to just basically see them playing, match coverage, and he's matched up versus Samuel, who first steps out into the flat, and you can just see him playing top down. He's always going to be good versus these routes that are just going straight horizontally, and he can just use that burst, because he has insane burst. That he's also an excellent blitzer, as you'll see. They don't do that as much in Fangio's system, blitzing the safety, so he hasn't got to showcase that skill set really this season until this game. He got to do it once, and because he might be the best blitzing safety in the league. But this is pretty solid play matching, getting out there, quick read and reactive athleticism, and then takes a good angle. He can miss some open field tackles at time, but when he going out like this, angle like this, he'll be fine making these tackles. It's just when it's wide open field and the guy's looking at him coming full speed, he can definitely struggle there. But as you can see, he's was definitely playing better in this game. Just had a really solid opening drive. That was a second and down. The third down, they show, basically cover 0, and he gets to come in free. His first opportunity to blitz all year long, I believe, at least that I've seen on the film. And he just does a great job timing the snap. His closing burst, angles to the quarterback are always so much better. He's had so many impact plays throughout his career here. You can see that he still has that explosiveness coming off that major injury from last season. So nice to see him improving. He's not going to be one of the starters, but it's nice to have some safety depth, because I felt more after that Bills game, the Patriots game, he looked pretty solid. This game, it makes me feel more comfortable about it. If Holland were to miss more time, or Elliott ever had to sit out, he's been playing at a much higher level. We're going to see some plays where Brandon Jones is playing on the back end. Here it's a third and long, I believe, and they're playing quarters, and he does a good job just staying in position down the field. You want to see him, reading this stuff, especially because this receiver attacks inside leverage, and they're stacked up right here, right? And this guy gets hard with that first step right there, trying to sell he's going to work over the middle. And Jones stays patient, stays square, and he's starting to read it. Once this guy gets back vertically, you can see Jones react to it pretty quick. Getting out to that vertical stem, gets a little bit physical, but not overly physical where it's a obvious illegal contact. But it's nice to see him, reacting to this stuff and being in better position on the field, because that's never been a big strength of his. Then the next play, this looks like good route anticipation to me. Dolphins, he's in quarters again. I think he can play quarters, split field look, and I think do pretty solid across the board there. They also asked him to play some single high, and he even did decent. I don't think that's where he's playing full time, but I always think if they can just develop his some ability in coverage, because I saw him in college, he played man to man one game versus Jamar Chase a bunch, and actually didn't do that bad for it being Jamar Chase. But I feel this is a good job, just first to number 2, usually reading 3 to 2, and with 2 pressing it vertically into your zone right here. He's able to sit on this. Look how his feet stop. He's anticipating the break over the middle. He's not gaining any more depth. I like this playing, with a little more aggressiveness. And then he's ready to transition and break on it right as the receiver is. Pretty good matching ability. So if that was thrown, he was right there to make a play at the point of attack. And I believe, that's versus Terry McLaurin. So just a pretty solid rep. Looking more and more comfortable playing, in these split field safety looks. Like how the Dolphins disguise this, showing, this split field look from the safeties, and they rotate down into a cover 3, and Jones ends up being this is pretty impressive to be at this depth, and they're bringing pressure here. He's replacing this guy and coming down, being a hook here, and he's matching number 3. And Hal sees it, but this tight end hasn't broken yet. And look how much space he closes, and Hal decides not to pull the trigger because of how fast Brandon Jones is going to close on this and make, even if they did complete it, it would have been right there. He would have been right there at the point of attack to make the tackle for 5 yards. And considering, he's pretty far off the line of scrimmage, almost he's about 14 yards off. That's very, very impressive to close that space that quickly. Being able to disguise your coverage pre-snap, even with a backup safety in, is very, very important. Here to see Jones in quarters again. They're on the bunch side of the field, so this can always be tough, like trying to decide where the, who's going to end up being the guy that works into your zone. And here, he gets Samuel working, like, to bend this like he's going to work across the middle again. He's playing that inside leverage, bends it to the outside, and this is a tough ask because a lot of times, you never know if you're going to pass this off, but you see Ramsey working vertical with the number 1, and they're trying to bring this corner behind it where Ramsey could be, but they're clearing him out. If this ball's thrown with timing, it probably gets completed, but since there's a little bit of pressure, Hal has to, scramble, throw it late. He throws it way too late, but even if he throws it a tick late, like right here, I think Jones is able to close the space fast enough, and there's not enough room to the sideline. So coverage could have been better. He could have played it, a little more anticipatory, but it's in a tough spot, and I think, he's still in decent enough position, and it's nice to see a little bit of athleticism there. Like when he transitions, you can see that he starts moving very, very fast and is closing this space. And I mean, the ball's thrown super, super late because of the pressure. But even if it was just slightly late, I still think he has a chance. If it's thrown with anticipation, it gets completed. But that's a tough ask for any safety to cover. That's that specific route versus, that coverage. This play is actually one of my favorite plays that Brandon Jones had in this game because he's playing single high here. He's been playing a decent amount of single high when he's come in, and it's not known for like a big strength of his. He doesn't even get the pass deflection. It's Deshaun Elliott. But if you just watch this, Dolphins are playing like cover 1 Lark here, and he's reading this. He sees this work across. He's ready to go over the top and help Kohu, but he's just sitting in the middle just in case this comes behind. He's staying patient. He puts himself in a position where if this is thrown to the number 4, he has a chance to, break on and make a play. But if it's thrown here, he can get down and make a tackle too. So he's leveraging both of these routes. He sees Howard fall down in his peripheral, so he closes instantly to get to McLaurin, take away this, because X fell down. This could have easily been completed if Howell wasn't like super under pressure here. And him and Elliott both end up making a great play. But just good heads up play from Brandon Jones on the back end, just being very, very disciplined. Jones definitely looks pretty comfortable in quarters. This is the 4th down touchdown, but nice to see him on the backside of a 3x1. Basically, this is where you it's called tricks, and you're just finding the number 3, and he's communicating here like, I'm taking this guy. He ends up working across to the inside. He's just pointing out like, if he breaks the outside, you got it. He breaks over here, I'm gonna take it. He ends up getting slightly out of position, but he's able to center field turn right back into it. Take away that route. Just good job again being in the correct position. I mean, they end up scoring on this on a great Sam Howell run, but overall, just looking at Brandon Jones, pretty solid performance from him. Last play that we're break down here for Brandon Jones. They're playing cover 6. He's to the quarter side, and this is good discipline out there, good playmaking ability. This is good communication as well, because they rotate this cross. It becomes a 3x1 to this side, so they got the 3 receiver side. They start working down here, and when number 3 starts to bend this to the inside, like you can see him communicate like, hey, number 3 might work towards you. He's a deep half safety. He knows he has to help there, and a lot of times when that happens, a safety would break down on the number 2, try to close, but Ramsey takes this. Kohu matches out in the flat, and Jones stays disciplined because they're trying to get this. They're trying to get the safety to take the eyes here, take the cheese, and break down, and then sell like this is going to be a post, but it's going to really be a deep corner to McLaurin, and Jones stays disciplined the whole time and takes that away. That is beautiful stuff, and then they're able to get pressure. Jones understanding the situations, good discipline on the back end. That's like the biggest thing, because I think that's what he struggled with in the past. He's always been a very aggressive player, and he's never been super comfortable there, but making those plays shows that he's putting in the work. The film study says got to give him a ton of credit. I know he's gotten some, some criticism this year for his play. He hasn't played a whole bunch, but I know people haven't been super stoked or talking about him a whole ton anyway, so got to give him the credit where it's due. So if you enjoyed the video, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.